Okay, video 6 of Engineering Design Midterm Review. We've got to complete dimensioning the packing nut. We have a couple of errors I noticed we're going to need to correct along the way. First off, if we select this right-hand view here and add hidden lines, you'll notice that the threads do not go all the way in. Some of you I helped correct this when you were making the part initially, but we're going to make the correction on that now. Also, this dimension here is incomplete. It does indicate our thread size, but it doesn't indicate the rest of the hole. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that dimension, and we're going to go in and instead use our hole notes, hole call out, and we're going to select this line in here, and you're going to see that we're going to get all of the information we need. This is also going to point out the error that I made in the part. So when I put this dimension in, you'll see that the depth of those threads, this indicates right here, this indicates the depths of the threads. It's only going in about 1/8 of an inch when those threads really need to go the full depth of the hole. So how are we going to fix that? Well, if we right click on the dotted lines, oops, get out of this command. If we right click on the dotted lines on our view, we can go right here and open up the part. It'll launch the part for us, and then we're going to go ahead and go in and edit that feature. So the feature here that's associated with the threads is this tapped hole, and we're going to come right in here and edit it, and in the this dialog box comes up. All right, we can identify our errors right here. First off, this guy, the depth of the hole is 1 3/4, and this is only 0.12. So we're going to change this to match the depth of our hole. And some of you may have had this near side countersink selected. Make sure that that's off as well while you're there. Going to hit OK. And notice that my threads are showing on this part. Quick review on that in case some of you don't have those showing. If you go into Document Properties, into Detailing, you want to make sure that Shaded Cosmetic Threads is on. That's this button right here. And I'm going to hit Save. I think that's document specific, so we may need to close out that part. We may need to make the changes to the drawing file as well. We'll take a look at that in just a second. Alright, you can see that the cosmetic threads are not showing up here, but you will notice that in making that change, it automatically updated the drawing file, which is nice. So this is showing the full depth. Threads are now showing the full depth. We just need to have the threads show here. So we're going to jump into this, go back to Document Properties, hit Detailing, and hit Shaded, and then our cosmetic threads will show there. Okay, now we can go about finishing putting the dimensions on the packing nut. We need to give the size of the nut, so we can put a smart dimension across these flats and set that right there. We also need to give the overall width of the part and how far each of these go. So I'm going to, with my smart dimensions, I'm going to come in here. It's running kind of slowly today. And we have an overall depth. And come back again. It's not letting me select that. I'm going to go ahead and add this dimension in that, get out of there. The diameter dimension. The diameter dimension is going to match the flat to flat distance. But I just want to remind everyone that if you're dimensioning a cylinder, it's done in its rectangular view, not in the circular view over here. It's a question of whether that's a duplicate dimension, but I'm going to put it in there. And then I want to get a dimension from here to here. Oops. And we can do the same thing one more time on this side, or we can dimension the this guy right here. Now we've got an issue with these lines, these arrowheads, because of the size of our dimension here. I'm going to leave that alone for this time, but it's a little bit crowded. We could possibly stagger those dimensions and make it look a little bit cleaner. Or actually, what we could do is just add, I'm going to delete that, and instead of doing it a chain, I'm going to put the dimension on the other side. My computer is running very slowly. I think that looks a little cleaner. We'll do it like that. So we want to just take a look here. This whole note covers the threads, and it covers the hole that's drilled to this, but it does not cover the diameter of the hole passing all the way through. So I'm just going to grab my smart dimension here and make sure that we cover that hole as well. And so we've got the distance flat to flat. We've got our threads identified here and the depth of those threads. We've got this hole covered. We've got the overall depth of the part. This part is complete. And I'm going to pause and then make another video to do that last part and change some properties.